Life will not wait for you. One of the most honest life lessons no one talks about is that life does not pause just because you feel unprepared. Time moves with or without your permission. Days turn into weeks, weeks into years, and before you realize it, an entire chapter of your life has passed. This truth can feel uncomfortable because it forces you to confront the moments you wasted hesitating, overthinking, or doubting yourself. But it is also one of the most liberating realizations you can ever have. Life will not stop for you, but it will respond to you the moment you decide to move. Most people wait for the perfect moment to begin. They tell themselves they need more confidence, more support, more clarity, or more stability before they take action. But the perfect moment is a myth. There will always be something that feels uncertain. There will always be fear. There will always be reasons to delay. Life rewards action, not hesitation. Confidence is not something you gain before the journey begins. It is something you develop through the journey itself. Think about the times you walked away from a good opportunity because you felt scared. Think about the dreams you pushed aside because you convinced yourself you were not ready. Think about the goals you postponed because you believed that one day you would magically feel prepared. But that day never came, and it never will unless you create it. Life responds to momentum. When you start moving, even imperfectly, everything begins to shift. Doors you thought were closed begin to open. Skills you thought you lacked begin to develop. People who doubted you start paying attention. And most importantly, you start believing in yourself. But none of this happens until you take the first uncomfortable step. Another truth no one talks about is that waiting feels safe, but it is actually the most dangerous decision. When you wait too long, you lose opportunities that may never return. You lose your enthusiasm, you lose your momentum, and slowly you begin to lose your belief in yourself. The longer you hesitate, the heavier your dreams become. Eventually, fear becomes your routine, and comfort becomes your prison. Life does not reward those who stand still. It rewards those who show up, even when they are scared, especially when they are scared. Every successful person you admire started before they felt ready. They stepped forward with shaky hands, uncertain outcomes, and a heart full of fear. But they moved anyway, not because they were confident, but because they were determined. You must decide what matters more, the comfort of staying the same or the discomfort of becoming who you are meant to be. Waiting will not protect you. Action will. And when you finally choose to move, you will realize that life was never against you. It was simply waiting for you to take the first step. Life will not wait for you, but life will meet you the moment you decide to try. People change, and you must learn to let go. Another life lesson most people avoid talking about is that not everyone you love will stay in your life forever. People grow, evolve, and shift in ways you may not expect. Sometimes the person you once felt deeply connected to becomes someone you barely recognize. Sometimes the people who once supported you begin to drift away. And sometimes, without warning, a relationship that once felt unbreakable begins to fade. This is one of the hardest truths to accept because it challenges the belief that love, loyalty, or history can keep people close. Be you. The reality is that connections change, and part of growing up is learning to let go. Most people hold on to relationships long after they have expired. They try to fix what is no longer repairable. They chase people who have already emotionally checked out. They replay memories hoping the past will return. But clinging to what is gone only creates more pain. You must understand that letting go is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength, wisdom, and emotional maturity. People come into your life for different reasons. Some are meant to stay for years, some for months, and some only for moments. Their role may be to teach you something, to push you in a new direction, or to awaken a part of you that was asleep. When their purpose is complete, the relationship naturally shifts. Trying to force it to stay only delays your own growth. Letting go also means accepting that you cannot control someone's loyalty, feelings, or effort. You cannot make someone stay who has already decided to leave. You cannot change someone who does not want to grow, and you cannot hold on to someone if keeping them requires you to sacrifice your peace, self-respect, or happiness. Love should not fade like a battle. It should not require begging, shrinking, or proving your worth. When someone's presence in your life becomes heavy instead of comforting, that is your sign. When the relationship drains more than it nourishes, that is your sign. When you feel yourself losing who you are just to keep someone else, that is your sign. Life is giving you clues, whispers at first, then louder signals, until you finally accept what you already know deep down. You must let go. The truth is, letting go opens doors that holding on keeps closed. It creates space for new connections, healthier relationships, and better opportunities. It strengthens your intuition and teaches you the importance of valuing yourself. Letting go gives you emotional freedom, mental clarity, and the ability to grow into the person you are meant to become. And remember, letting go does not always mean dislike or bitterness. It does not mean you stop caring. It simply means you choose peace over chaos, healing over attachment, and your future over your past. You honor what the relationship taught you, but you no longer allow it to hold you back. People will come and go throughout your life, but your growth, your CE, and your purpose must remain constant. When you learn to let go with grace, you protect your energy, honor your journey, and make room for what is meant for you. Your pain is your greatest teacher. One of the most powerful and uncomfortable life lessons is that pain shapes you more deeply than comfort ever will. Yet very few people talk about this openly. We often see pain as something to escape, hide, or avoid at all costs. But the truth is, your most painful moments hold the greatest lessons of your life. They reveal your strength, your resilience, and the depth of your spirit in ways comfort never can. Think about the moments that changed you the most. They were not the easy ones. They were the moments when you were broken, disappointed, betrayed, or forced to face a truth you didn't want to accept. Pain has a way of stripping away illusions. It shows you what is real. It reveals who truly cares for you. It exposes relationships that were weak, and it strengthens the ones that are genuine. Pain forces you to confront yourself, your patterns, and your choices. Most people see pain as an enemy, but it is actually a powerful guide. It teaches you what you will no longer tolerate. It teaches you what you truly value. It teaches you who you are when everything falls apart. You may not see it in the moment, but every heartbreak, every loss, and every disappointment is shaping you into a wiser, stronger, and more grounded version of yourself. Pain pushes you out of situations that were slowly destroying you. Pain wakes you up when you have been asleep in comfort or denial. Pain forces you to grow, especially when you would prefer to stay the same. The truth is, without struggle, you would never discover your strength. Without heartbreak, you would never learn self-respect. Without disappointment, you would never learn discernment. Without loss, you would never learn the value of gratitude. People who rise the highest in life are not the ones who had an easy path. They are the ones who used their pain as fuel. They are the ones who refused to let failure define them. They are the ones who turned rejection into redirection. They chose to grow rather than stay wounded. They chose to learn instead of remaining bitter. They chose to move forward rather than stay stuck in their suffering. Pain is not meant to break you. It is meant to build you, but only if you allow. Many people remain stuck in their pain because they hold on to the story of what hurt them. They replay the betrayal. They hold on to the anger. They refuse to release the disappointment. But healing begins the moment you stop asking why something happened and start asking what it's trying to teach. Every painful experience carries a message. Sometimes the message is to walk away. Sometimes the message is to slow down. Sometimes the message is to trust yourself more. And sometimes the message is simply that you are stronger than you realized. Remember this, pain is temporary, but the growth it gives you lasts forever. You may not choose your struggles, but you can choose what you become because of them. And when you look back, you will realize that your pain was not your punishment. It was your preparation for the life you are meant to live. You are responsible for your own happiness. The final and most often ignored life lesson is this: your happiness is your responsibility, not your family's, not your partner's, not your friends', and not society's. It belongs to you, and until you fully accept that, you will always feel drained, disappointed, or dependent on others for emotional fulfillment. Many people go through life waiting for someone to save them, fix them, or change their circumstances. But no one is coming to do that. Your life, your peace, and your happiness are in your hands. Most people unknowingly hand their emotional power to others. They let someone's words ruin their day. They let someone's approval determine their worth. They let someone's love define their identity. They let circumstances control their mood. But when your happiness depends on external factors, you will always feel unstable. You will constantly chase validation, reassurance, and recognition from people who are too busy dealing with their own struggles. Taking responsibility for your happiness means understanding that your emotions are shaped by your choices, your mindset, and the way you interpret life. It means recognizing that you cannot control what others do, but you can control how you respond. You cannot control whether someone loves you, but you can control how you love yourself. You cannot control the challenges life throws at you, but you can control how you rise from them. One of the hardest truths to accept is that no relationship, no material possession, and no dream come true can make you happy if you are not at peace with yourself. Happiness is not something you find outside, it is something you build within. It is the result of choosing habits that support your well-being, setting boundaries that protect your energy, and making decisions based on self-respect rather than fear. Taking responsibility for your happiness also means letting go of the belief that people owe you something. No one owes you effort. No one owes you understanding. No one owes you the love you are not giving yourself. When you stop expecting others to fulfill you, you free yourself from emotional disappointment. You begin to rely on your own strength, your own clarity, and your own purpose. Start by asking yourself, what kind of life do I want? What kind of energy do I want around me? What kind of thoughts do I want in my mind? What kind of person do I want to become? The moment you take ownership of these questions, your life begins to shift. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop comparing your life to others. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. Instead, you take action. You set routines that nourish your mind. You choose relationships that uplift. You remove yourself from environments that drain you. You invest in your growth, your peace, and your dreams. Happiness is not accidental. It is intentional. It is built through daily choices. Choosing gratitude over complaining, choosing growth over comfort, choosing boundaries over people-pleasing, choosing self-love over self-neglect. When you finally understand that you are responsible for your own happiness, you gain a level of freedom that most people never experience. You stop living for others and start living for yourself. You create a life that feels meaningful, peaceful, and authentic. And that is when you truly begin to thrive.